tortilla. That's a snack right there.
There you go.
Man, we used to eat that when I was a kid. We'd have nothing we used to get a weenie, a hot dog, put it on a fork, and turn on the stove, and then get a tortilla, wrap it in tortilla, and that was it. So, that was our snack.
Well,
you
that
know?
is true.
But
Yeah.
kids nowadays, what the hell,
So
anyways.
they gotta have nutritious stuff.
Yeah.
What is that?
We used to make hamburgers out of bimbo bread and stuff. Anyways, is this thing on already?
we're back
You're
now.
recording? You recorded that? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll edit later, I guess. Okay, so our podcast continues.
Yeah, try.
Part 2.
Part 3
Part
or
2,
4.
take 50.
We'll upload the bloopers so you can see
we
some
should
of the
have
between.
that. A bloopers video. When they go beep. Then, yeah. Okay, I'll write that down. Bloopers.
Yeah. there
Okay.
you go.
All right. So what were we talking about? La mujer.
Yes.
The subject was La Mujer. As we know, Friday was International Day of the Woman. And we were just talking about women, and particular how they influence and make a difference in our lives, and, women accomplishments
Mm-hmm.
and so forth. Now, I know it seems kind of odd that there's two men here talking about women.
We're the experts on women's
as
issues.
if we were experts. We're not saying we're experts. We just want to make our podcast, or wanted to do our podcast, and honoring
as allies.
as allies. I'm not an expert in women. I love women, but I'm not an expert on them. Okay, so anyways, we had finished talking about who were our influences, and now we wanted to talk about what women.
We were gonna ask about Alexandria.
Oh yeah, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
And pretty much, go ahead, take it away. You got it.
Well, Alexandria. Yeah, because we were talking about. You asked me earlier in the part 1. Remember to check it out.
Oh yeah, check it out.
It's link below. What did they say? Like it, give it a like, comment,
subscribe.
share, subscribe.
Yeah.
On the what did they point to? They're like subscribe in the here, and then
They point.
something.
No, they point down.
Oh, down. Yeah.
Yeah,
something
subscribe
like,
there. We definitely need to work on our.
We do need that GoFundMe or whatever it is.
Okay, so AOC.
Yeah, so AOC on the part 1, you asked me about the political role models, like if women or stuff like that. And I was saying like
And this is AOC in case you guys didn't know. Okay. Just want to give you a picture of this.
Yes, that's an amazing. Easy there.
Okay. Okay.
So I said in the part 1 that I have always had a hard time looking at women as rather politicians in roles as role models, right? And because I don't know, it just seems like politicians. They are very careful in what they say, and they're very calculated, and you hardly ever get to connect to somebody that seems more authentic in how they
not to mention they're liars too.
Yes. Basically. But then comes Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah. And
sorry, that was sound effects.
From the first time that I saw her campaign video, because I was doing some work with some community groups out here in LA, and I was just immediately grabbed by the way that she told her story. And she has this video. If you haven't seen it, if you Google or type in on YouTube Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez campaign video or something like that, her first video comes up, and she talks about being a waitress and how people like her are not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to run for office.
Right.
And they even show her. I think the one that moved in the most is like when she's like she comes from like a meeting and she's wearing like a suit.
A white one? The white one?
No, it's not. Well, there's so many iconic images of her, but like when she was running for office, she has like this like this dress suit, and she has like she has her heels, and she's like changing, waiting for the train to like put her like work shoes, and that to me said so much, because here she is like in the daytime or nighttime, whatever the time it is, part of the day, in other words, where she's switching from one role to the other, and she's like existing in a world of politicians and running for office and talking about issues, and then she goes and like does her real job, which is bartending, right? And she's doing it in a span of like, it almost reminded me of like those family members that are working like 2 jobs to make ends meet, and it's kind of like that here, except like she's not getting paid to run for office, and she's doing it because this is something that she believes in, and she's I believe she's destined for. So anyways, it was very inspiring to see that, and then also inspiring to, I'm sure, for many other people that see themselves in her, right? And so, and ever since then, like she kind of, I hear stuff from her about her, and the way that she will answer questions are so out of the usual, in the sense that they're visionary and they're so powerful, and when people they undermine her all the time because they think, oh, she's just like this little girl that doesn't know anything.
She's a dimwit. She's this. She's too young. She don't know.
They like try to set her traps, and then and they almost like they don't even know what they get themselves into.
Yeah, because she
goes, and then she's so unassuming, like because at first and I don't know if you saw the one like, where she was questioning somebody in Congress, a congressional hearing, and she starts to connect the dots about corporate influence, and she's like, oh, let's do a thought experiment. And at first it sounds like it's kind of like fun and games, like almost like people, you can tell like almost people in their minds are kind of snickering, like, oh, here we go, like this little girl is trying to play games, and before you know her, it's almost like she's building a case, and by the end it becomes so crystal clear how corporate influence works in America, that is undeniable, and she gets the person that's testifying to admit in a way that it's very rare that you see on in the public discourse, just how much corporate influence is rampant in our society. And she just and she does that a lot. She's just very unassumingly, before you know her, she's basically left everybody speechless by the way that she answers her question. She doesn't come across as like know-it-all or like kind of talking down at people, but she just comes so it's so artful. It's almost like an art form that you see unrolling before your eyes, and she just blows my mind. Like if she ever runs for office, I don't know what I would freak out. I would be like, I don't know. I would follow her anywhere. So that's one person that
I think I would follow her anywhere too.
Not like.
No, I mean, she's the times I've seen her, she's always prepared.
Yes.
She asks the right questions directly. She doesn't want this elaborate explanation. She wants a yes or no, and she asks the right questions to lead to more questions or more thought as to She's very prepared. She doesn't take crap from nobody.
That's so.
And
nice to
she
see.
stands up for. She's not afraid to speak her mind, and that to me is.
She doesn't need anybody's validation. Like,
exactly. She's powerful within herself, and that's what we need. We need someone like that in the government. We need that change, and I see it in her. I think she has a good future ahead of her. she just does the right things, and she's young, you know. And you got all these politicians that are scared of her, and they should be, because, you know, she does